So like I was saying, this offers you some bit of protection. Maybe if it was just kind of sprinkling, or I don't know, so you have your tarp ready, or if it does rain, and you still have the open filling with the tarp there just in case it rains, and then you can just drop it back down and stake it like we had before. That way the water sheds off, because the steeper it is, the faster the water will shed off. Some tarps absorb water if they ain't waterproofed enough over a period of rain. Like canvas, sometimes canvas will do that. So I just want to show you what it looks like kind of up underneath here. This allows a breeze to blow through. It's more of a summer type setup because it blocks the sun and allows the breeze to flow through. But I just want to kind of add that in there since I was already out here and had it all set up. And like I said, you just get up under here. Not a big deal. Kind of allows you, if you have a stove set up to cook, you have a nice little place to sit down at. Kind of makes it your own little home area. Of course, you can set all your gear out through here, and if it is just kind of a little light sprinkle, it works pretty good. Allows you more area, or more area to play, or sit back here and read a book, whatever you like doing when you're out in the bush. And if there's a fire out front here, this offers almost like a, I don't know what the terminology is, convection of heat up underneath your tarp, because hot air rises, and being down on the ground, sometimes you lose some of that heat, and what this allows is the hot air to accumulate in here. And of course, if you have a real nice tarp like this, you may be afraid of embers flying up, but choosing your wood wisely helps out quite a bit, because things like cedar will pop. You just have to figure out in your area or where you're at what'll work best for you. The gear is expensive, so you do want to take as much care as you can with it, because it quite frankly might save your life depending on where you're at. Anyway, I don't know. Let's see if I can come up with something else. Oh, I'll show you the other thing real fast to help for winter camping, and I'll leave this set up on the porch mode, that way you can kind of see the other deal I was going to show you real fast, if you have a fire kind of set up over here. So hang tight. So what I have here is a reflective blanket. This is one of those nice reusable ones. You could use one of those that is more of a throwaway, and these can rip too, especially in high winds. The grommets that are on the end will tend to come out, but I've already got these loops on the ends of this, and all I did for this is just took a small piece of cord, and you can see it's really small, nothing real fancy. Just made a loop in it, and just a simple knot with double pieces of rope there, and just go ahead and feed it in through the grommet and back through, and then now we're attached. And for up on your ridge line, which if you're going to do it the way I'm going to show you right here, which is a quick fast easy way of doing it, if you're just trying to get it done, you want to go ahead and have nice clean edges so you don't poke the tarp above you. Like I said, you want to take care of the gear that you have. So all I'm doing is just looping it over top of the ridge line, and then you can spread the gap like so. I don't know if you guys can see that. Pull it through, and this hole you have here, I've created this hole you've created here, you can just stick a stick through there. And now what that has done is just basically like a toggle. It's toggled it on there. So it will slide up and down the ridge line, but it takes quite a bit of force to get it to do this. So we're going to go ahead and do the other end, and I'll go ahead and stake it to the ground like I would before. You probably don't need to see that because it's just the same old boring stuff. I do have these rope tie-offs on all four corners of this blanket, so see when I'm done so you can see what it looks like. So I have that set up now, and you can see what this allows is reflective heat. So if you do have a fire, and you can even do this without having this extra tarp on here if you don't think there's going to be inclement weather. Like I said, all this other stuff will allow you the ability to block wind. And like I said, wind is your biggest enemy in a hammock if you're trying to stay warm. This will reflect quite a bit of that. Almost like a solar game. And it creates an air gap behind it also, which also works as an insulator. Kind of like, well, there, that didn't work out too good for me, did it? Kind of like the, I think if I remember right, I read somewhere or seen on TV that the Dubai ski resort or whatnot they have there, their resort is actually insulated with just air. A huge air gap provides them their insulation, and that's even what insulation itself does. It creates air pockets, trapping the heat inside there. So anyway, if I can think of something else here, I'll try to add it in here. And of course, if you have any ideas you want to share with me, I'd be very happy for you to do so. I'd be glad to even try to add in something else if you had a question. I don't know if I can answer them, but I'll do it to my best of my ability if I know what I'm doing. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing, but this is the way I do it. So anyway, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. So I did want to add in something else here real fast. What I've got here is just a military canteen setup with a cup and the canteen shop's grill stove. And also with that I have this Trangia burner. It's an alcohol stove. This top part is a snuff ring or a simmer ring. It can be used to snuff it out. The simmer ring is so you can kind of adjust the heat that comes out of this thing. It has a nice lid for it that does have a rubber seal, and of course you don't want to seal this thing up while it's still hot, because you will burn the rubber seal, making it useless and making it hard to get back off. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to go ahead and make a hot drink, because when you're hammock camping, at least for me before I go to bed, to help heat my body, because I think before you get into your when you get into bed, you need to probably be as warm as you comfortably can be, so the body heat's already there. You're not trying to warm it up, it's already heated up. So we'll go ahead and set these two things off the side. I've cleared out an area here. I do have a little bit of vegetation, but not a big deal. So make sure that fits good. So we'll just get us our ferro rod and our knife. And I need to find something different probably for the alcohol, but for right now I'm using this container that used to have dishwasher drying agent in it. Doesn't work that great, but I go ahead and squirt in however much you're used to using. I haven't used this a whole lot, so we're going to go ahead and go about half full. And if you add a little bit on the outside here, it works as a primer to help prime this. We'll go ahead and get that going. Okay. With alcohol, you have to fill to see if it's actually lit, because a lot of times you can't really tell. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get this heating up. Thanks, Sarge. Man, you got some awesome stuff. This back of the spine is sharp, man. This thing will throw off some sparks. And of course, this fire steel is awesome. I haven't used it that much, but from what I have struck from it, it is pretty cool. It sure does go good with this knife. So anyway, No reason to waste the heat that you are getting from it. No reason to wait for it to get up to full flame. We'll go ahead and get some water boiling here. I'm going to leave about an inch off the top, at least for me, that's how I like it. I'm going to make some hot apple cider. Normally I do hot chocolate, but I thought I'd just try something different today. It says it has vitamin C in it and stuff, so might make it kind of nice. I keep a lot of my drink things and like salt and pepper and miscellaneous, probably too much stuff in here. Oatmeal packets, all in this old Crown Royal bag. I don't drink, but I do know people that do, and it works out pretty good for me. If I had something else, I'd probably use it. So here's the apple cider packets. Once this gets boiling, I'll show you what else we got going on here. So here's the oatmeal packets. Now this is really good to add these packets. I do 2 packets usually when I eat a meal for in the morning. I do hot chocolate. If you leave just enough hot chocolate in the bottom of your cup after you're done drinking it for this, that is awesome. It's like having chocolate oatmeal. I don't know how to describe it. It's pretty cool. But just something I happened to do last time I was out that seemed pretty neat. In this little baggie I also keep, like I said, salt and pepper. And this is just those, I think it's Coleman brand. Yeah, it says Coleman right there. Coleman brand salt and pepper shakers. And I also keep another one with cayenne pepper and seasoned salt, just in case I eat something that, well, the cayenne pepper is multi-purpose anyway, but in case I get something while I'm out in the woods, just happen to be needing it. Then I keep in here usually some Gatorade packets, because when you're hiking, you need to take care of yourself. You sweat quite a bit, especially in the summer. It's almost impossible, it seems like, to keep up with your body fluids. I know my friend, I have to often tell him or remind him that he needs to drink fluids because he's had some heat strokes before. And I keep a little thing of tinfoil in here. And I'll do a cooking video on my bannock with this. The tinfoil works great for cooking the bannock. I do it probably a little bit different than some other people do, but that's going to be for another video. I like keeping these Lipton recipe secrets. This is beefy onion, and this is good too. If you were to get like a squirrel or something, you can use this to throw it into, almost make it like a brothy stew with it. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, I've got a few packets of sugar, some of these little small instant freeze-dried coffee packets, some remnants from an MRE like this beverage base powder, because let's face it, when you're getting water from a creek or something, it does have a slight has a different flavor sometimes, so adding these things right here sure do help. Got tea packets in here. Well, that's about it. Just regular Kool-Aid packets too. But once this gets boiling, we'll get back at you. So guys, if my water's purified already, I don't really like to get it to boil because then it's too hot for me to drink, and I don't really like waiting, honestly. I've got plenty of stuff to do. I mean, usually you're collecting firewood or something. But these stoves like this, if you don't need the fire, make it nice because you're not wasting a bunch of calories or time. You can actually sit back and just enjoy listening to the nature. I know I tend to talk a lot sometimes. Honestly, I'm not normally that way. But we're going to go ahead and take this off. Now, keep in mind, I've done this before. Trust me, you do not want to do it. It hurts really bad. Do not stick your drink in there and then try to take a drink, because this lip of this thing will literally singe your lip. It'll be too late by the time you notice it. It's very painful, trust me. And then I don't know if you guys can see that those flames are licking right up to here. I mean, this burner throws off some mean flames, and that stove works so good. And I have about a 1/4 inch of stuff left in there in this snuff ring. If you just keep it closed like this, and you can just stick it up on there, that'll snuff it out. You can save that fuel once it cools off and go ahead and stick this ring back on top. Screw it on, and this snuff ring snaps right over top of this. Works out pretty good. I do like it. I do wish I had something that seemed to be a little bit more bulletproof with the alcohol, because I don't know, it feels like it's going to leak out. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there. And then this apple cider. Whew. Been a while since I had it, but it's coming winter. And like I said, it's rich in vitamin C. I don't know if you can see that. 80 calories. Just add water. So anyway, I'm going to add 2 packets to this. And guys, please don't leave your trash out. You do need to take that out with you. Don't leave it out in the woods, please. It's just good woodsmanship. I mean, I could work on my woodsmanship some too, personally. When I was young once, I used to not care, just throw things everywhere, but the older I get, the more I appreciate it. Appreciate what I have here, because we're losing places to do things like this fast, guys. It's only so much acreage for so many people. But we'll stir this up with a different style tent stake that I'm going to start trying out. I've seen some people use it, and I'm not sure yet. We'll try it out. But we'll just stir that up with that. And once this thing cools off enough to where I can handle eating it, it'll be good. Now, I don't know if this works. I have done this before to help things cool off, especially if I'm making char cloth or something like that. The char cloth tins, I hate waiting if I'm making more than one batch. Kind of get impatient with things sometimes. But sometimes I'll lean up things here to help absorb the heat out of the container. Doesn't matter really what it is that you add next to it. I mean, I can lean up a bunch of my tent stakes to it, and just something that'll suck the heat out of my container to help the cooling process faster. Something you definitely don't have to do, but moving it around in different spots on the ground, because you'll feel that absorb the heat. Those kinds of things. Especially if you're boiling a lot of water to process it for when you're hiking. Kind of helps out to cool it off faster. And of course, taking lids off. I could have made this boil faster by putting a piece of tin foil over it, or heck, a rock for that matter. It doesn't really matter. Something to help hold the heat in, but really, like I said, we don't have a lot of rocks around here. At least where I live. If it's there, it's probably brought in. And once you start going out, there's a spider. Hey, there's another reason why I like the hammock camp. You don't have ants crawling all over you, or spiders, or cockroaches. I know it sounds weird, but I have been camping before in the hammock, and you wake up and listen, you hear mice running around underneath you, and you'll see a cockroach. I've had a cockroach fly up on me. At least it appeared to be a cockroach. Out in the middle of the woods, you just flick them things off. Or at least that's what I do. But Anyhow, guys, I really enjoyed doing this. It was quite fun. I hope I don't bore you guys and make it too long for you. I'm going to sit here and enjoy this apple cider and pack it up for tonight. I didn't plan on staying out tonight. I'm going to go eat supper with a good friend of mine. You guys may know him from Wolf Customs. So, anyway, guys, I'll get this loaded up as soon as I can. Enjoy.